Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my finale for the Graveyard Project pan. However, before I do hop into that, I really do need to offer you a very sincere thank you because I just have felt so supported by you because I recently had to take a little bit of a break from my channel. It was only a couple weeks, so maybe some of you didn't even notice that I was gone, but I needed to take that break for my own mental health, for my own mental space. I was just feeling very overwhelmed. I do think that breaks are going to be more of a frequent thing for the next few months while I am finishing up school. Maybe my upload schedule will be a little bit more spotty, and I do apologize for that, but I can only do as much as I can. I really don't want to stretch myself too thin, and I don't want to overwhelm myself. I do want to do a dedicated video very soon, hopefully, where I can talk about maybe just what's going on in my life, maybe why I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, just reconnect with you guys about where I'm at, you know? This video is not for that, but I do really just want to offer you a thank you, and I really appreciate all of your understanding through this time. But in any case, I am so excited to be finally sitting down and filming because it has been a couple weeks since my last upload, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my finale for the Graveyard Project pan, which I'm so excited about the progress that I've made, but I'm so upset to see this project come to an end because I really love it. This was my second year doing this project pan, and I had so much fun with it this year and last year, and I have to say, I'm pretty happy with the outcome. I'm feeling pretty good about where some of these products are at. Maybe not all of them, but some of them for sure. Thank you so much, Emily, for coming up with this concept. I'm so happy that you came up with this idea and ran with it, and I just really think that it is such a special project pan, not only because there is a collaborative aspect to it, but also because the theme of it, and it is so much fun to be a part of. So I definitely recommend that you go and check out Emily's channel as well. In the description box, I will have a link to the playlist so you can check out everyone else participating here on YouTube. There also is a hashtag that you can check out over on Instagram, which is hashtag Graveyard Project Pan. I will have all of that information in the description box for you to keep it nice and easy, but let's just hop on into all of my progress and how we're going to be wrapping up this project. So if you're not familiar with this project pan, there are two different categories that we can select products based on, and the first one is the Collecting Cobwebs category, and for that it is basically prompting you to pull products from your collection that have been collecting dust, collecting cobwebs, things that just haven't been getting reached for, you're neglecting them, and you want to just integrate them more into your routine. And so I have three products I want to share with you from that category. The first one being this Essence Colour Correcting Mattifying Powder. This is in the shade 10 Beautiful Finish. I honestly don't know, one, if this is even available anymore, but two, if there's any other shades in this powder. And it is truly just a mattifying powder. Now, it was originally a mosaic kind of pattern. I've said that in all of these videos in this series, but it had colors all running through it, and now I have repressed it and it's just become this very pale pinky shade. And unfortunately, it doesn't look as cute as it once did, but mine shattered, so I had to repress it. And my goal with this was to finish it up, and I mean, this kind of maybe just looks like an empty pan, but I did not finish this up. I didn't even get close to that goal because I've just not been preferring a mattified look on my face. It's just not my go-to anymore. I've been really embracing dewy skin, and considering that I've been working from home all of the summer when I would maybe prefer a mattified look, I didn't really care. I just embraced super dewy skin or nothing on my skin whatsoever. So this has been definitely neglected even still with this project, but I'm really happy to say that I have reached for it more than maybe I would have otherwise. I'm happy to say that I did use it and I did ensure that it was getting some usage, but by no means do I feel like this was a successful product for me in this project. But that's okay. My preferences just don't seem to suit this type of product. I'm still gonna hold on to it and, you know, slowly work my way through it, but yeah. Unfortunately, that was not a goal hit, and that was just maybe not a realistic goal for me and what I want out of my makeup at this time. The next product in the Collecting Cobwebs category I had rolled in, I think, in the first update, and it is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Moisturizer. I have mine in the shade Natural 05. And this is like a perfect match for me right now. It's what I'm wearing on my complexion right now. and this shade will be a little bit too deep for me very, very soon. I rolled it into this project not because it was being neglected, but because it's really close to its expiry, which is January of next year. That, I believe, is just because of the sunscreen. I really do want to get it used up by the expiry date anyways, just as like a guideline. But I didn't, unfortunately, finish it in this project, but I am so, so close. So I started all the way up here. I made my way down to here for the last update, and now I'm just down to about this line. I'm honestly not sure if that line is accurate because I can feel there's very, very little product left in here. Like very, very little. Like probably this bottom little section is all that's left in here. So it's something that I'll be able to finish up throughout the month of November. I'll have it done by the end of this year, but unfortunately it just wasn't completed by the end of this project. I am not upset about that though, because I didn't reach for this exclusively. I didn't really expect that I would. And in fact, I finished off another tinted moisturizer from my collection during the course of this project pan because I really wanted to move that one out too. So even though I didn't finish this up, it's super, super close to my goal, and I know that I will still have it out by the expiry date, so I'm pretty satisfied with that. And the last product for the Collecting Cobwebs category is my ABH Modern Renaissance palette. I actually rolled this in last update, so I've only had this in this project for 2 months' time, but my goal with this was to hit pan in 2 eyeshadows, and I'm pretty stoked on this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really happy with this. I hit pan in 3 of the shadows in this palette. So right after I rolled this into this project, I actually hit pan in Vermeer, which is the like pinky shimmer in this. And it was almost instantly. So I was like, okay, maybe I gotta change up this goal, or I don't know, maybe I'll just keep persevering and I'll try to hit pan in more than just 2, because that was like moments, not moments, but like within the first week after rolling it into this project. The next shade that I hit pan on was only very recently, actually. It was like last week, and it was the shade Warm Taupe right here. And you can see the pan is a little bit funky. It's a little bit of like a slit, and that's because I was using this on an angle brush and using it through my brows, and today I'm wearing it through just like the kind of the tail after the arch of my brow, just to define there. And that's just how I was reaching for it for the past 2 months. I really like this tone. I really liked this, like, it's a bit more powdery, so I really liked the way that this looked in my brows. It never looked too stark, and I'm really, really happy to see that pan there. And I was expecting that on today's update, that was all we were gonna see, but I do have a nice, tiny, tiny speck of pan right here in this shade right here called Raw Sienna. And I hit that pan today when I was doing this eye look. I don't love this eye look, by the way, but regardless, I ended up hitting pan on this when I was like buffing out the black on my lower lash line, and I was like, I was pretty stoked about that. I was super, super happy about that. So there are 3 new pans in this palette. This is one of my older palettes in my collection. If not, I think it might be my 2nd oldest palette that I have in my collection. So to see this much panage happening in it, I'm really, really happy, and I have to definitely thank this project pan because I have been definitely neglecting this over the past maybe even year or so. It's something that I've kind of forgotten to reach for, so I'm really, really happy with the state of this and that I managed to reach that goal and even surpass that goal. And the other category that products can fall into is the resurrection category. And in this category, basically you're selecting products that have previously been in other project pans. They were focused products in the past, and unfortunately you may have not reached your goal, or you did reach a goal, but now you want to reach a separate goal or a different goal and bring it back into a new project pan. And I love this aspect of this project pan, that this is a focus to kind of reconnect with products that you previously worked on. So I have 3 more products that fall into this category. I don't know which ones I want to talk about first. You know what? I'm going to talk about the one that I rolled in last update, which is my Becca Sunlit Bronzer in the shade Bronze Bondi. This is just a mini that came in a Sephora 500 point perk. I rolled this in last update, like I said, and my goal was to hit pan on it because even though this is a mini, like a tiny, tiny little pan, it's like the size of an eyeshadow, I had this in a project pan last year and I could not hit pan on it, and I used it so much. So I had to roll it into this project. I was hoping that I could hit pan on it throughout the past 2 months, and I did. I'm so happy that I did. I'm wearing this bronzer very, very lightly today, and I actually have a like illuminating bronzy type of shade on top of it just to kind of diffuse it, but this I'm so happy to finally have hit pan on. That only just appeared the other day, maybe like 4 or 5 days ago, so I'm pretty happy about that, and it was just in time to sit down and film this update, which I'm very pleased with. Very happy to see that little pan. And I do think that if we do this project again next year, I'm gonna roll that into this project with the goal of finishing it up, because it's perfect for me for the summertime. I love the way that that tone looks on my summer tan skin. So yeah, it's probably something I'm gonna focus on next summer. And I believe it was in the first update I rolled in this mini highlighter. This is from Fenty. This is the Killawatt highlighter in the shade Hustle Baby, which is a beautiful, like light gold kind of highlighter, but the pan is totally empty now. So there is no product left in here whatsoever. I finished it off today. There was like barely any product left in here today. It was just like little crumbles of product. And I'm so happy, so happy to say that this is totally used up. Of course, it's just a mini, so I was able to work my way through it relatively quickly. But there was quite a bit of dedication and effort that went into using this up throughout multiple project pans. I'm really happy to see this gone though, because I do have so many highlighters in my collection, and there are other colors that are very comparable to this one. So it's nice to see one used up, bring down that number of that category, and also be able to focus on other highlighters that I love just as much as this one. And then the last product in this project, as well as the last one in the Resurrection category, is this right here. This is my Milani Luminoso blush, and this was in this project last year for the full 6 months, and it's now been in this project for the full 6 months this year. So 1 full year of using this dedicated in the Graveyard project pan when you put the 2 projects together. And I did not think I was ever gonna be able to hit pan on this. Maybe I won't even be able to open it. Okay, but I did. I hit pan on it, finally. Oh my gosh, and that was like 2 weeks ago, and I squealed when I finally hit pan on it. There still is quite a bit of product in here, but I have heard that once you do hit pan on these, it's a little bit easier to get them used up because the product is quite thin, which it is quite thin, but this side still has a tiny bit of dome. So that doesn't matter. I'm just so excited about this. I'm so happy to have finally hit pan on this. It is so hard. It's like the most challenging to hit pan on blushes, and something about this formula seemed near impossible. So when I finally hit pan on it, it was like the biggest accomplishment in my panning journey. I swear. I was so pleased with this, so happy, and I'm sure some of you guys are going to be pretty excited to see this as well. But yeah, that is actually everything for this project pan. I'm very sad to see it go because this is such a fun project, but dang, am I ever feeling really good. Like, I hit 3 pans in this palette right here. I hit pan on the bronzer, I completely finished up a highlighter, and I hit pan on the most challenging product I think I've ever had in a project pan in the past. I do think that the essence wasn't the best option to put into this project, but you never know until you try. And the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue, if I had dedicated more energy towards it, I could have used it up, but this I love so much. I know I'll be able to get it used up sooner than later. So yeah, very successful, very happy with the way that this project wrapped up. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.